Hey guys. Okay, I have gone live, I think. Let me see. Am I live, Faith? I am? Awesome. All right, you guys, welcome to Shanda on Demand. I am streaming Instagram in today, which is not normal. I normally don't stream Instagram in. So Instagram, I took a break from TikTok and I'm coming over here with you. And obviously Facebook, so much love for you on all of our groups and YouTube and all of that. So it's always really interesting to me why people spend most of their time on different platforms. Let me just do a quick survey question. First and foremost, how many of you guys, what is your preferred platform? Is it YouTube? Is it Instagram? Is it Facebook? Faith, what's yours? What's your favorite platform? I'm curious. Instagram? Did you just say Instagram? Pop up here for a second. Hold on, pop up here for a second. What is it for you?
Good morning. Yeah, I like Instagram.
Hold on.
I like
I can't hear you. I don't know why I can't hear you. Try again. Go ahead. Speak now.
Yeah, I like Instagram.
I can't hear you.
Like
That's
Instagram.
so weird. Okay, I'm going to take you off then. Bye. Okay, so I think she said Instagram. So, Amit said YouTube, right? So what are your favorite Instagram? Okay, you guys on Instagram, of course it's Instagram. You're watching on Instagram right now. Mine is Instagram too. I like to watch on Instagram, but YouTube is where I go to figure out like how to solve a problem. Like the fact that I just started this new mic system, which is not on you, Instagram. You guys have to listen to everything drilling next door. But everybody else, I have this new mic system and it's amazing. Road. It's amazing. And it gives me great sound in a huge room that if you guys were connected to Shanda on Demand at the beginning, last month when we started this, it was like super echoey. So I know you guys on Instagram, you're having to deal with the echo, but it's so cool. So, okay. So let me jump into today's topic and we're going to run for about 10, 15 minutes. I'm going to do my best to stop on time, but I am doing everything I can to make sure that you guys have some good cash flow by the end of the year. And so if you're joining Shanda on Demand for the first time, you guys on Facebook, can you do me a favor and just shoot out a quick share to get more people on here? That would be super awesome. Faith, if you can do some shares and tags, that'd be great as well. Okay, so I usually am on Facebook, Rebecca says. I'm usually on Facebook, but interestingly, I got notification from Instagram that you were going live. So interesting. Okay, that's why I say we rent these platforms. We don't own them. Okay, so I'm obsessed right now because first quarter of next year, I think whether you're in the real estate market or you're not, if we're just talking pure wealth creation, it's a smart thing to think, how could I get into the real estate market? And so this live is not going to be about real estate, but it is about wealth. And so let me give you a hint for a second. When I got into real estate to create wealth, it wasn't because I wanted to own a home, believe it or not, it was actually to create wealth. I tied up a piece of property. Anybody do real estate? Yes or no? Anybody do real estate? Any of you guys? Yes, no, yes, no. Any of you guys? Okay, so some of you guys are doing real estate. Okay, so Faith, it looks like StreamYard isn't posting on some places. So if you can go and just kind of update that real quick and see if it will reconnect. Okay, so when I got into real estate, I learned how to find a home, many of them, like 10 or 15 homes inside of like 24 hours of sellers that wanted to sell their house. And they most of the time had not listed them. And what I did was I would go and I would look at the house, analyze it, and see if there was any money in it. Like if there was any way to either short sell it or there was equity in it or take over somebody's payments. By the way, this is the same as lead genning for customers or clients or any of that. When I'm lead genning for houses to buy or when I'm lead genning for companies to buy, like everybody thinks that business is so complicated. It's not. You need to know how to find a product or how to find buyers or how to find sellers. Right? You have to figure all this out. If you can figure this piece out, everything else is learnable quick because you just have business. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? Yes, you just have business. So I learned how to find about anywhere between 10 and 15 properties, real estate properties, homes. I had never bought in a house. I didn't know how to do any of that, but I knew that I wanted to create wealth. So I learned how to lead gen sellers. I learned how to analyze a house. And then I learned how to go find buyers for that house all in a very short period of time. And then I would take what was called a finder's fee. And so you don't need a real estate license for this. You don't need any of that for this. So I share this because you can make anywhere between $2,000, $10,000, $20,000, $30,000 on just getting a finder's fee from knowing how to find real estate and find buyers. And it's really not that hard. So towards the end of the year, yes, I'm not going to talk about now, towards the end of the year, I want to talk to you about how do you tie up property and how do you sell it without owning it, or how do you get into, that's right, wholesaling, how do you get into real estate deals? Either the best game in the house is own or finance. You don't have to get a loan. You dictate how much money you put down. And remember, interest rates were great, and now interest rates are not great, at least in America, right? And so everybody gets sheeped. I use the word sheep like it's like you grow up, you go to school, you go to college, you get married, you have a white picket fence, you get a dog, and you have children for tax benefits. I'm just kidding. But you know what I mean? We're kind of taught that. We're taught that's the way, and then you retire, and you should just be good with that. And that's been reinforced inside of us for a long time. So I've never liked the game of 401ks. I've never liked the game of like when my advisors, and I was really ambitious when I had no money. I was like, tell me advisors, how do I get ahead? Anybody else like me? Put yes in the comment section. Anybody else like me where there was something in you and has been in you for a long time that you know that you are supposed to have money? Like for whatever reason, maybe it's to start a business, maybe it's to support an orphanage, maybe it's to tie to your church. I don't know, but you know, like there's something in you that you know, and you've also probably felt a little bad. You guys on Instagram, I did a quick reel this morning. You felt a little wrong for having this drive sometimes, because people maybe can't keep up with you, or they can't understand why you're relentless around this, or why you keep like reading books or doing personal development, or just like you're constantly looking at yourself every time something breaks. Am I alone? Yes or no? Am I alone? Right? And so like with all of that, I think maybe today could just be a moment where you could rest into the fact that if you want more support to grow your business, more support in your life, if you don't want to be the superhero that handles everything, who handles everything? Put an E in the comment section. Who handles everything? Put an E in the comment section. I am notorious for that. And over the years, I've had to let go, which then what happens is if somebody else doesn't step in, people around me will flounder. Faith knows this. She's been in this journey with me for a long time. And so I'm not going to go into my journey as much, other than to say what I've learned at this point is I want to talk to you today about not only like why it's so important to get support around you, because you will grow slower in your life everywhere. Like everybody's holding on and hoarding. It's kind of the old advice of get married, have children, get a 401k, which by the way, this is some homework for you today. Go look up Kim Kiyosaki. It's okay if you spell her name wrong, because I'm sure you'll find one, right? Look up Kim Kiyosaki, Rich Dad, Poor Dad, Kim Kiyosaki, not Robert, her husband, but Kim. And look and do a YouTube search for Kim Kiyosaki and 401ks. 401ks. And she will tell you exactly when the 401k got created. I'm so glad I can't be censored for this yet, right? The 401k got created, and how really to understand it, and how it is actually not a good plan for you. And I'm not your financial advisor, but for many of you guys who think like me and feel like me, like you're supposed to be rich, the 401k is not the way that's going to get you free. It's just not. And so I'm not going to go into that, but I want you to do the homework, because I don't want to be the person standing in front of you where you're like, Shanda, feed me. I want to run with you. Like I want all of us to raise up, make a good amount of money, and then be on the yacht together. Do you guys like that? Can we be on the yacht together? Like, let's get out of this idea that Like we all need each other. I need you. I just asked one of my clients the other day some advice on some book stuff we're doing because she's a client that came to us, Sarah. She's a client that came to us and she was making $20,000 a year. We scaled her up to $100,000 a month within 2.5 years with us. Okay, so I don't know about you, but how long have you been in your business, or how many have you been in your career and you're not making $100,000 a month? She did it in 2.5 years with us. And by the way, she's not the only one. That's not an income claim. But what I can tell you is on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, I will be teaching how we did that for her, right? And so some of you guys have mentored me live, you already know. We show you how to build buyers lists. We show you how to do all of that. On Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, we're going to do that, right? So if you're on Instagram, you can always go to my bio and you can watch a video on it. If you are on Facebook, I don't know, it might be in my bio on Facebook. You might want to go look, but you could always put a message that says list on Facebook or YouTube and we can come and help you. But all of that to say, it's not about that. It's about along the way, I had to stop being superhero. And so now I don't pull back either. I was talking to my private clients about this yesterday. Actually, the same person that we just brought to $100,000 a month said to me yesterday, she said, Shanda, I almost moved my date. So let me share something with you. In hardcore, when you have a goal, you don't change the goal. You don't move it. You don't move the dates where it's more comfortable. And every time I've done that, I've lost months of momentum. Okay, so I have not done that in my company for probably 6 years. And the end of last year, I started moving dates to help somebody in my company. And it was my breakdown, not hers. She's amazing. But it was my breakdown as a leader because I know better. And so I'm sharing this to you. It's taken me almost all year to rectify the habit of moving things out, of changing dates. So I share this with you as a humble woman and saying, listen, we are not so strong that temptation can't get us. We are not so strong that a habit can't change like this, right? Every single one of us are human and it is messy. And it is critically important that you close loops in your life and you always complete what you start. That you never move your dates, because if you do to become more comfortable, you need to realize the word is more comfortable. And whenever you set your life up to be more comfortable, pulling back, you put yourself into a box that you can't get out of. And that box is lonely. And that box is something you created. Nobody else put you in that box. You pulled back. And so I'm going to encourage you today that even if you feel overcommitted, who are my people who feel overcommitted? Put OC for overcommitted, and I'll know who you are. If there's a lot of you, I will do a full training on Shanda on Demand about overcommitted. Okay, so put an OC in the comment section if you're overcommitted. So you guys who are overcommitted, know this: there's nothing wrong with you. You actually have vision. You have vision and you have a heart. That heart of generosity to overcommit is actually, I would say it's the #1 wealth creating habit. The challenge is that you haven't created some space, some focus time. I talked about this yesterday, right? So if you didn't watch Shanda on Demand, you guys on Instagram, you don't have it. You have to go to my Heartcore Business Facebook page, Heartcore Business Facebook page. So on my Heartcore Business Facebook page yesterday, I talked about how I prioritize things. Really important to restudy that. So if you're overcommitted, here's my coaching for you today. Like, take the freaking coaching, okay? People pay me $55,000 a year to Voxer me and get answers on stuff like this. So just take the coaching. Like, don't be so stubborn to not take the coaching or just think because this is free content that it's not valuable. It is. This is the same content that I coach my clients on. So if you're overcommitted, I want you to pat yourself on the back and say, I have got the power to create extreme amounts of wealth because I'm so generous. You don't want to let yourself feel wrong for that. And you do not want anybody to sit there and go, oh my gosh, Amit, Donna, Stanley, like you just overcommit and you know what, you got to pull back. And so just pull back. Don't want that, because that's the box. We can't pull back. Okay, so what your opportunity is to create some focus time. And just, I know you're like, I'm overcommitted, Shanda. I'm like, just trust me on this. Create some focus time. Even if it's the weekend when you're not working, create 30 minutes where you put all the things you're committed to, and then look at them and go, if I was going to execute on these, what would success look like? Like, what would success look like on all the things I'm overcommitted to? Like, specifically. And the key is you have to be able to measure it. And then you need to ask yourself, who can I get to help me on these? And what exactly would they own? What exactly would they own? Do you understand what I mean? So maybe I want to hire a new copywriter, which is true. And I have some good copywriters that I'm talking to right now. Maybe I want to hire a new email hygiene person, right? Somebody to look through my email. These are all real things, right? That we have in our company. And so I could say, okay, my schedule looks like, did you guys see last month I opened up an opportunity to do VIP days with me? Did you guys see that last month? So I did it because I was showing everybody how quickly you can create income and create offers. And I did that again, not offered VIP days, but I did that again earlier in the week when I showed people, actually it was yesterday, where I showed people how to do calls to action. And how often people don't do CTAs, calls to action, so they don't make money. So aren't you tired of your social media or your emails or your webinars not creating fruit, not creating money? You should be tired of it because you need to create cash. You must have cash in the bank, okay? And so I taught that yesterday. So I'm sharing this with you because when you create focus time, you can look at who can help me. And let's take the copywriter. When I offered those VIP days, I had 3 VIP days last week. Next week, I'm training a 3-day event. And then I go into 2 more VIP days, like back to back. And so you might think, oh my gosh, you'd be tired after that, Shanda. No, because it's all within office hours. Like I expect myself to work during office hours, just like if I went to a 9-to-5 job. So whether or not I'm talking all day at an event or I'm talking to one person on a VIP day, I mean, that's my job. And I'm excited and I feel privileged to be able to do my job. So many people get exhausted when they do their job, and that is a heart problem. That's a problem of like, I'm forcing myself to give to you, where if you can clean your emotions and just be like, I'm so privileged to be able to work right now, it will change your bandwidth. That's a big nugget right there. If you are emotionally unstable, which would be called high stress, and you just say, well, I don't handle pressure very well, or I overcommit all the time. I'm telling you, you can do this better by changing the way you think about things. So when I look at, like, let's say the copywriter, it is not a badge of honor to be able to do everything on your own. It actually says that you are breaking down in your leadership. And so sometimes it's a blind spot. And you just are so used to a habit of taking care of things. Who's like that? Put me in the comments. Put me in the comments. If you're like, thank you. If you are like, if you are so good at taking care of things that it's kind of a blind spot to stop and just really explain to somebody how you take care of things so that somebody else can do it in a way that you really want it done in. See, the whole game of success comes down to leadership and knowing how to replicate yourself. You guys in network marketing, who's in network marketing, put network or put MLM, right? Who's in network marketing, put MLM. The challenge that people have in network marketing is they can't replicate themselves. So, but the problem that a coach or consultant or anybody scaling a company, even at the very beginning, is because they don't know how to replicate themselves. So this is what I mean. Network marketers, coaches, real estate agents, financial advisors, people teaching gardening, teachers, whatever it is that you do, if you keep doing all the work yourself and you don't catch a vision for literally going, okay, what is the number one thing that I've overcommitted to that I could, like who else could own that or a portion of that? So I didn't do the interviews to find a good copywriter. I was given a couple copywriters that my team thought would be a good fit for me. And so then I could actually save time and not go through all of the applications and kind of narrow it down to a couple people and be done in a day or two. Do Do you hear what I'm saying? So the badge of honor I used to wear is, oh my God, I got all this stuff to do. And then what happens is every successful person, when they hear that you're very busy, that's why it always cracks me up. People like message me and say, hey, I know you're busy. You don't know me. I work 15 days a month. And I have, at the last week of the month, I have off. 7 days a month I have off. I have 3 other weekends off in the month. I'm good. But I also know that if you reach out to me and say, Shanda, like Donna, if you reach out to me and say, Shanda, can I pick your mind on something? No, because I can't. Now, can you send me a message on Instagram? Facebook, I lose people a lot on Facebook, but can you send me a message on Facebook or Instagram? Yeah. And either myself or somebody on our team will help. You know, a lot of times it's me on Instagram. Coaching people and helping people. If you send me 4 or 5 voice notes on Instagram, I will not answer you. And I don't feel bad about it. I used to feel bad about it, but I don't feel bad about it. What am I trying to tell you right now? It's okay to train people on how to treat you. See how even when I just said that, people who message me on Instagram won't send me 5 voice notes. They'll say, hey, quick voice note for you. Do you guys hear what I'm saying? So you set the bar of teaching people. I teach people on social media how to talk to me so I can help more of them. I teach people inside my company how to do their roles better, or Chris does, our COO. My point is that you want to look at where did you overcommit. And what you're starting to do is you're starting to master the game of powerful, unstoppable leadership. Powerful, unstoppable leadership. So here's what I want to share with you. Last piece. You know what to do with overcommitting. Who can own some of that? Spend 30 minutes and you will solve some problems of creating more time in your day. 100%. You need to make enough time to have a conversation with somebody, ask them if they can own it, and tell them what success looks like. Specifically, even tell them how you would handle it. You should write these notes down because you'll forget. The biggest problem in communication is if I go to Amber and I say, Amber Lynn, here's what I want you to do. I want you to go into my Instagram and I want you to answer all my DMs so that everybody's served. Amber's like, okay, I can do that. But then she has her idea of what served looks like. But then I have my idea of what served looks like. And it's over communication. It's not just email my customer service department. It's, hey, what's your phone number and your email? And I'll get it over to Robin, and Robin will get back to you. And then I copy that and I go put it in Slack to Robin. Robin confirms that she got it. And I say, can you let me know that you talked to them? That's a complete closed loop to me. Might not be a complete closed loop to Amber that I have a communication. So I'm a huge fan on telling people, what does success look like and how would you handle it? That is your playbook, my friends. How you would handle it is actually your playbook. And when you create playbooks around your business, around your house, right? We have playbooks on how to feed my husband and I. We have, any second now, I will have a heavy metal detox smoothie from Medical Medium brought in for me to drink. There will be, my husband has already had his celery juice this morning. You get what I'm saying? So it's more than delegation, Amber. It's more than delegation, because delegation means you're still at the hub. So delegation is what a manager does. If you want to be a founder or a CEO, you got to have people own things around you, which means you have to let go of control. So is this a great live? Is this kind of a freedom live? Because if we're going to make a lot of money, we got to get some of the weeds gone. Now you might say, well, I don't have anybody to help me. That's just not true. You're not willing to look. You're not willing to look. Spend 30 minutes and just say, well, if I could find somebody to help me, if there was somebody who could help me, who would that be? And what would it look like if they owned it? And then you ask that person, and then you tell them, would you own this for me? And here's how I would do it. And that will change the game for you. So here's my final last thing to you, and I'll end on this. I'll just stop talking, and then I'll see you tomorrow on Shanda On Demand. I'll stream on Instagram as well, you guys, at 10 a.m. Eastern. And I'll talk to you about how I have more fun in my life while I'm creating these systems to make a lot of money and impact a lot of people and be able to just really do the things that God has put on my heart to do. Okay, so the last thing is the people around you cannot hear you complain. Okay, so doesn't mean you can't have a human moment, but my husband thinks I am bulletproof. Okay, and this is important to me. Doesn't mean that I don't have a moment that I need a hug. That is, I'm not, as much as the World Economic Forum would like us to become robotic. Sorry, I can't help it. Be part robot. I am not part robot, and neither are you. And we have feelings, and we hit leadership limits that it hurts, and we just need a hug sometimes. But my husband does not. There is no habit in my household where when I come to my husband, I'm not like, oh my God, I have to do a Shanda on demand and I really want to do this, and nobody's shown up. Thank you guys for showing up, by the way. Facebook, share this, please. Share this with people that need to hear this, and tell them why they need to hear this when you share it. Okay, hear what I'm saying? Instagram, share this on your stories, share this. Help people out so that they can rise. Hear what I'm saying? So I need my husband to help me, and I need him to believe in me, because he's who I go to bed with. Now, you may or may not have a husband or a wife or even a relationship, but you have friends, you have family, you have people around you. And it is so important that they believe in you. And they believe in you because of the way you show up. So it is so important that you show up in a way that you seem competent. And I know that it takes courage to be competent, because competent comes from wisdom of failing a lot. So when I fail, I expect to fail. I just don't apologize for failing. I don't apologize for making mistakes. Well, that's not true. I mean, if I made a mistake with you, I would say I'm sorry. But I don't apologize to my character. Do you hear what I'm saying? Because I know that the faster I make mistakes, that is my biggest problem, not making mistakes fast enough. It is also yours. I did a whole year where we documented a few years ago that I tried to fail. I can't remember how many times. I think it was I tried to fail something like 38 times or 40 times, and I hit it in half a year. Well, I doubled my income in half a year because I was focused. Let me tell you something. It's hard to fail that much, because it makes you have to you have to take a massive action to fail that much. And because I tried to fail that much, I doubled my income in half a year. So probably a good thing for me to do between now and the end of the year, as well as you. You guys, are you up for this with me? How many of you guys put up a number that you're willing to fail? What do you think? Maybe you could fail 23 times or 22 times for 2022. I mean, do you guys think maybe we could try and fail 22 times between now and the end of the year together and actually document it? We could even tag each other on Instagram and Facebook. You guys could tag me and say, I failed, Shanda, I failed, and really change the narrative out there around failing. I bet we'd crush it, because here's what I noticed when I did my failure year. I quit after half a year because I hit my number. I doubled my income, and the rest of the year was slow, because I went back to a habit of operating in the way that I thought I would operate, in what was good, because nobody's judging you on your good or bad. You're driving your own ship. You make as much money as you work, as much money as you're willing to take an effort, as much money as you're willing to fail, your relationship. How many times have you had the conversation to solve it? Things lag out way too many years because we don't fail fast enough. So, oh my God, 100 times. I love that. Okay, so what I realized when I played this game is the failure game. Is that when I started, I was tracking it on a wall, and I tracked it all the way to my number. And what I realized is that my failures were weak. That was a big aha for me. And I can't wait to hear some of you guys who are going to do this and tag me. You can start today. I realized that my failures were weak. I was playing so small and didn't even know it. I mean, I was making, millions and millions of dollars a year. Nobody questions you when you're making, $5 million a year, $10 million a year, $12 million a year, $20 million a year. Nobody challenges you, and that's where we're at. Nobody challenges you. And so they all think you're playing big, because you are, but you're not playing big for you. Right. And so I realized that I was embarrassed about my failures. And so what I did was it caused me to play bigger. So I want this for all of you. I want this for me too. And I love Shanda on Demand at 10 a.m. Eastern Standard Time because of moments like this that get birthed. Through me giving to you, I end up getting invigorated on what I could do. And here's to us rising to the top so that we finish this year, 2022, really strong. So I love you guys. Don't lose authority with the people that you love. If you already have, set yourself this failure goal. And tell them that you're going to fail this amount of times, but you're not going to have a pity party around it. In fact, you're going to celebrate it because it means you got new wisdom. And you can do something with that wisdom to course correct and become better. So people always ask me, Shanda, how have you been able to get to where you're at? And I'm like, well, I keep getting better. So I don't go into that box. I never give up on my commitments. I finish what I start. Even if I don't feel like it anymore, I've lost passion for what my goal was. I always finish what I start. These are rules of hardcore. And I'm telling you, they've worked. The thing that I want to pick up for you and I is speed. And speed comes down to tracking failures. So, how was Shanda on Demand today? Was it good? Was it good? I'll see you tomorrow. I'm going to show you how to create some more fun, because fun also creates more bandwidth. More bandwidth for the people you love, more bandwidth to be able to accomplish more bandwidth in your pressure level. It brings it down. So tomorrow I'll show you how do I have a little bit more fun, because I'm super playful as much as I am very intense to create the results that I want. All right, you guys, so much love to you. I can't wait to see you tomorrow. Peace out, you guys. Bye, Instagram. I'll talk to you soon. So good. All right, you guys. Talk to you later, Facebook, YouTube, all of ya.